What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Dogecoin and what it's going to do to the rest of the market. You guys, before I get started though, if you're not a subscriber to my channel, go ahead and make sure that you hit the subscribe button right now. I really appreciate everybody that's been subscribing to my channel and tuning into these videos. Also, make sure that you guys join the Discord. Links are in the description to join that. There's plenty of other members in both the free and the VIP areas for you guys to discuss trading, learn, and grow in your investing. So without further ado, let's get straight into the analysis. So do you guys remember recently when I made a video with BitShares, with XRP, with Stellar, and Dogecoin? Well, today I'm going to be talking a little bit about why Dogecoin is most likely going to crash the rest of the entire market. You guys, in that video I mentioned that Dogecoin had a potential of a rising wedge pattern and to watch the support of the wedge to see if it fails, because that would be quite bearish. We did fail that support and we started to see a bearish move. And Elon Musk is now tweeting bearish things about Dogecoin, telling people to sell and that whales shouldn't be holding so much of their positions. And you guys, when I hear stuff like this, I have to laugh a little bit, because here's the thing. When Dogecoin crashes, what's actually going to happen is all of the dumb money that FOMO bought the top will sell in the bottom, and the whales will actually end up having even more of a greater supply of the token. That's just the way it is. I'm not going to deny it. You'd have to be dumb to think that that's going to go any other way than that. So you guys, Dogecoin is definitely going to crash, in my opinion. There's a lot of reasons to see that Dogecoin would crash. Bearish MACD cross, bearish histogram flip, rising wedge support failure, major rejection at major resistance, massive impulsive wave with a massive rejection wick. You guys, there's so many things suggesting that Dogecoin is going to test its major lower support levels. So what does this mean for the rest of the market? Because generally speaking, you guys, cryptos do follow each other. And that's really, really useful when you're trying to do analysis on other coins, because you can actually find early signals on some of the coins that have been leading, like Dogecoin. Dogecoin is definitely giving an early bearish signal for the rest of the market right now, while as coins like maybe like Ethereum are still kind of lagging behind in their bearish signals. But I'll show you a few bearish signals that I'm still seeing in even Ethereum right now that are kind of hidden. For example, Ethereum, you guys, has bearish divergence. We have this massive move on the upside, and yet the MACD has not seen any future momentum. It's actually rejecting again. This is bearish divergence. The histogram is starting to flip. And you guys, this is also typical of a rising wedge pattern. You guys can see this rising wedge inside of Ethereum, and it's very, very likely to play out. There's always room for like little wicks like we saw last night where Bitcoin came up and kissed 50K. But overall, you guys, this is bearish zone up here. This is definitely a bearish zone, and I'm definitely expecting a drop inside of the market. I think it's a lot more likely that we start failing support on a lot of these coins and start making rising wedge patterns, confirming the breakdown of the rising wedge pattern, testing these major support levels, and then continuing on the bull market. You guys, I do not think that we'll see some crazy correction of testing these lower support levels on at least Ethereum. Maybe Dogecoin does test some of these lower support levels because it went so parabolic. But you guys, with Ethereum, with Bitcoin, with the bigger names, I expect this correction to be short-lived. But with that being said, I definitely reduced some of my risk on the market. This is my personal trading journal. This is what I'm personally doing with my portfolio, you guys. This is not financial advice. This is never financial advice on my channel. But this is definitely what I expect to see happening in the market. I'm actually really excited to see this correction happening, because we've seen so much parabolic movement ever since Bitcoin broke out of its wedge pattern and started to go up. And so a correction like this inside of the market is not only very healthy, but expected to happen in this area. And it's also providing a lot of buying opportunities for anybody that's savvy enough to see the opportunity. We can go ahead and buy more coins. You guys, as you guys can see, Bitcoin is also very likely to do a correction here. There's bearish divergence on the MACD. I also see, like I said, a rising wedge pattern, you guys. This rising wedge is still valid. Just because we had a wick up to 50K means nothing. In fact, it actually means that we're likely seeing short seller liquidation. People that were trying to short a little bit too early are getting liquidated. And that's why you have to have risk management in place. And one of the best ways to have risk management in place is to take smaller position sizes so that your stop loss can be 5-10%, and it doesn't matter if the market has a little bit of room to move before it actually sees its reversal pattern. That's very, very key if you are swing trading these markets. But for me, you guys, I'm planning on buying up this dip down here. I reduced my risk inside of the market. I have dollar ready to purchase, and I'm ready to buy a dip. This will look like a V bottom correction. It's actually very similar to what we saw inside of the NASDAQ. And I'm very, very excited to see this correction happen because I see so much euphoria inside of the market. So many people expecting this market to just go up only, as they're saying. And you guys, corrections happen inside of markets just as much as they happen that you see the upside. There's always a correction after a downward move. Overall, in the big picture, when something is on an upward trend, the corrections are eaten up. So overall, the bulls do win if you're in a big picture trend, and we are in a big picture bullish trend, but I fully expect us to see a correction at this point here. It'll be very healthy. It'll provide a massive kind of channel here, an upward pointing channel for us to see continuation in Bitcoin through the rest of the spring, because I do expect us to be very bullish all through the spring here inside of Bitcoin. Spring is usually very bullish for Bitcoin, but I do expect us to see some corrections here in February and a recovery throughout March, and really coming through the rest of April, we'll see a lot of bullish movement coming inside of the markets. So that's what I expect, you guys. Take it or leave it. Do what you want to do. Like I said, this isn't financial advice. This is my trading journal. But I have to make this video because for me, this is clear as day. And I see a lot of people trying to go the other direction and buying. FOMO buying is not smart, you guys. We've seen a lot of parabolic growth throughout this whole move right here. And it's not smart to FOMO buy parabolic growth. And it's very, very common for us to see corrections when these rising wedge patterns form. In bull markets, it is possible for you to break bullish out of a rising wedge. I've seen it happen before. It definitely occurs, but this is a very, very steep wedge that I'm seeing. Most of the wedges that we break out of in bull markets are not very steep. They end up being kind of less steep. This is a very, very steep angle inside of this wedge, and it's very, very probable that we see a downward break inside of this market. So that's kind of my thoughts, you guys. It's going to be very profitable if you're wise enough to go ahead and prepare for this and have dollar ready to buy the dip, because you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to reduce a lot of risk in the market, and you're going to make a ton of profit just off buying that dip, because the recovery will be a V-shaped bottom recovery, and it will recover very quickly. But that isn't to say that reducing risk isn't a good idea. From a trader's perspective, reducing risk is very, very important. When you see the opportunity to reduce risk, it usually means that you should reduce risk, as long as the pattern is very high probable, and as long as you understand risk management, because it's really dumb to go 100% out of any market. There's just too much stress associated with doing that. So you have to understand how to reduce risk and not completely eliminate risk. And that's very, very key inside of trading, and just something I wanted to mention for you guys today. So that's my video for the day. Make sure that you guys check it out, my previous video yesterday, as well as checking out the Discord and the VIP, you guys, because I have details about where these coins are going, where my personal buy zones are, why I expect this to actually happen, more comparisons as to why this is following the NASDAQ, and why Bitcoin is likely to do this correction because it looks exactly like the NASDAQ did. Just a lot of more juicy details inside of the VIP. People are changing their lives in there. I get messages all the time of people 10xing their account, doubling their accounts, 20xing their accounts, outperforming the markets and letting me know that they are. So it really is the place to be if you want to change your trading and change your life inside of these markets. So go ahead and check the links in the description for that. You can Discord message me or shoot me an email to get signed up inside of the VIP programs today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into my video, and I look forward to seeing you in future updates. As always, stay profitable out there.